Okay, here we go. Yeah, so, I just came out of Desolation of Smaug. Woo! It was awesome. It was really, really good. It was, very, very awesome second act in this three-part Hobbit trilogy of Peter Jackson's. He did an amazing job. He really did. Smaug, man. Well, I'm not going to get into Smaug just yet, but boy, oh boy. Woo! Yeah, Smaug. I'll list certain things about the movie. You know, I won't try to get too spoilerish, but if you haven't watched the movie yet, then you probably don't need to be watching this video. But man, this definitely was a lot darker than Unexpected Journey, and rightfully so. That's the, you know, it felt more like, I think, like a Lord of the Rings movie than an Unexpected Journey. Unexpected Journey was more, has more of this, it's definitely a softer feel, and this movie was not. It was darker, very dark, very violent. I was surprised at the violence in this. There was a couple of scenes in that I come to expect from these Lord of the Rings, Hobbit movies, what have you, but there was a couple scenes in there that were kind of violent for this. I thought Peter Jackson was definitely taking liberties, which I applaud him for that, and it didn't bother me, but I just thought, man, put that in this. That's kind of crazy. It basically picks up almost exactly where Unexpected Journey leaves off, but there is a really nice, the opening scene's really cool, and I don't know about you guys, but I was keeping my eyes open for Peter Jackson's cameo, and boom, caught it, couldn't miss it. It was like, usually his cameos are subtle. I mean, this one was so out in the open that if you would, a blind man could have seen him, you know. And it was very nice nod back to the Lord of the Rings. That's all. That's it's okay. Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to abstain from spoilers in this. It opens in Bree, the village of Bree. So you see the prancing pony again. You see Barlaam Butterbur, a young Barlaam Butterbur. You see Peter Jackson reprise his role as the carrot-eating dude from Fellowship of the Ring. So you see him for just a second in Fellowship of the Ring. He turns to the camera, he's eating a carrot, and he belches. He's the same dude in this. It's a nice little throwback to that. It was cool seeing Prancing Pony again. It's basically where Thor and Oakenshield and Gandalf meet for the first time. Then it cuts back to modern time or whatever. You see Bjorn, and they changed a few things. Obviously, they changed a few things with this, but yeah, you see Bjorn. He looked cool. I really had no problem with the way he looked. He looked, I guess you could say, he looked like an 80s rock star from a hair band, but he was a big, menacing figure. I thought he looked really neat the way they did him. He wasn't in it as much as he is in the book, and he was not in the book. He could be, you know, kind of jovial. Not so much in this. In this, he was. There was no humor to him whatsoever. He was a very sober man, very sober, and he wasn't in it a whole lot. Not like he is in the book. But you see him, you know, and they do all that. We see more of Dol Guldur, which is really cool. You finally see the Necromancer. Well, and we all know who the Necromancer is. The Necromancer is Sauron. And you hear Benedict Cumberbatch doing the voice of the Necromancer, and he's speaking in the Black speech of Mordor. And I mean, that in itself is just a treat for the ears. You know, listening to that. Necromancer himself is a in the beginning, he's the form of a black cloud, if you will. He's not really a figure. You don't see him as a figure until later on in the movie. The spiders. I was really excited to see the spiders, and they talk. I was like, oh, that's awesome. They actually made them talk. I heard at one point there was going to be like telepathy, the way they were going to speak, but they really kind of spoke. You know, I thought that was really cool. See all that. You mean it goes into the elf kingdom. Talariel. We finally see Evangeline Lilly, Freckles from Lost, as Talariel, and I like Talariel. I had no problem with her, to be honest with you. She's not in the book, you know. She's not in the book. She's a character they created specifically for the movie. She was cool, and she played her part. She did what she did. I really had no problem with her. In the end, they kind of was what they were doing was. There was a couple scenes where they were paying homage, I believe, to Fellowship of the Ring. There's a couple scenes where she's likened unto Arwen. There's a scene with her and it's either Feely or Keely. I can't remember sometimes I can't get them straight. Aidan Turner. He was Mitchell in Being Human. He is sick, and she heals him, and there's a scene that goes back to when Frodo was laying there dying, and he sees Arwen, and she has the light coming off of her, and she speaks to him in Elvish, and they kind of kick back to that. Lake Town was really cool. Bard, I like Bard the Bowman. I thought the dude that played him, I can't remember his name either. It's freaking 3 in the morning, so don't judge me on this. His bard sounds dirty. His representation of Bard, I liked it. It was a little different than the book. For one thing, he has a bigger part in the movie than he does in the book. Plays a bigger role. And he played it very well. Very well. He's a very good actor. I loved seeing Stephen Fry as the master of Lake Town. He looks just like a big, pompous, fat ass. Like he's kind of portrayed in the book. He almost reminded me of the Vogons from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the way he looks. But he did that. He played that very well. The little shit that was his right-hand man, Alfred. I don't believe he's not in the book at all. But he reminded me a lot of Wormtongue, Grima from Two Towers. Which they probably were kicking back maybe a little bit to that. Lake Town looked great. They finally get to the Lonely Mountain. Seeing Smaug. I'll tell you, the way they did Smaug in this movie was everything I could have hoped for in seeing Smaug. And I believe it was everything that a Tolkien fan could ever have hoped for in seeing this character. He was great. He looked so real when he talked. His lips move, obviously, because he has to talk. It didn't look fake. It looked really. They did a masterful job on him. They really outdid themselves with Smaug. And Benedict Cumberbatch once again portraying him in motion capture and supplying the voice sounded awesome. Perfect match, perfect marriage of voice and character there. I loved it. The battle that takes place, well, it's kind of a battle that takes place within the Lonely Mountain itself between the dwarves and Smaug. Not in the book, but who cares? Who really? I mean, I'm not complaining. It was great. I loved seeing that. I'm guessing Bilbo got the Ark and Stone. Spoiler alert. I've already said spoilers. I'm going to post spoilers when I post this video. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this video, because I'm going to spoil stuff. You've been warned, okay? I gotta say one thing. I freaking love the movie. But damn, fucking ending, man. They had... Seriously, Peter Jackson, you had to end it there. Of all friggin' places, you had to end it right there. I was like, what the fuck? Sitting there watching that. It was great. That's a great ending. But damn, man. Of all the places to end, you had to end it there. Jeez, man. I can't complain. That was a good one. Peter Jackson's a genius. He's a genius. At this point, I might put him up there with Stephen Moffat for being a bastard. But he's awesome. That was a really good place to end it. Big stuff's gonna happen in the next movie. There and Back Again. We're gonna see the War of the Five Armies. We're gonna see. I know we're gonna see freaking Billy Connolly as one of the dwarves of the Iron Hills, which is gonna be pretty sweet. Billy Connolly's an awesome actor. What happens to Gandalf? I want to know what's going to happen to Gandalf. And, you know, I would be pissed. If I was Gandalf, man, I'd be fucking pissed that he didn't get his hat. I mean, you can destroy my staff, but don't mess with my hat, man. Come on. And I hope he at least goes back for his hat, or maybe like goes like Accio hat and gets his hat back. You'll understand that when you watch the movie. But yeah, it's great. I'm pretty sure that Thorin told Thranduil to go fuck himself in Dwarvish. I can't speak Dwarvish, but I pretty much was reading between the lines. You know, I was pretty much it's an educated guess. He probably told him to go fuck himself in Dwarvish. Yeah, and I think there's maybe a little something going on there between Talriel and Mitchell. I'm just gonna call him Mitchell because I can't remember at this point if he's Feely or Keely. I think he's Feely. No, I think he's Keely. I can't remember. It doesn't matter right now. But yeah, I think there's a little something going on. A little elf dwarf love right there. It's a recipe for sexy times. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say right now. Saw trailers. Saw a bunch of nice trailers. Saw Godzilla on the big screen. Looked awesome. That scene when they're falling through the black clouds and the clouds are swirling, it looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss nightmare. I think it looks pretty cool. Saw Interstellar. Now, Interstellar, the trailer for it's kind of weird. It's not a trailer. It's a teaser. It's nothing more than a teaser trailer. And if you remember, the teaser trailers for most all of Nolan's films are just that. They're teasers. They give you almost nothing whatsoever. But the actual trailer, usually Nolan outdoes himself with the actual trailer. So this teaser trailer basically gives you nothing. It gives you nothing whatsoever. It gives you. It kind of reminded me of a Terrence Malick film. It looks like some of those scenes from Man of Steel where it was the close-up shots of stuff, like something Terrence Malick would do, like he did in Tree of Life and Thin Red Line and his movies like that. So this is the teaser. When the actual trailer for Interstellar drops, I think the trailer is going to be pretty amazing. And for those of you who don't know what it really is, it's basically billed as, I think, an adventure in something cosmos or whatever. I don't know. It's something like they go through a wormhole. I read the synopsis for this a long time ago, and I need to read it again. But it was basically something like this: spaceship finds a wormhole, and they go through it, and they like discover what magic is out there. So, sounds like something from Carl Sagan. So I don't know, but it sounds, if it's Christopher Nolan, I'm on board for it. Even though it has Matthew McConaughey in it. But if Nolan cast him, then I guess I'll check it out. They showed freaking Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 3D. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to suck ass. Pardon my French, it's going to blow. Maybe not for a lot of you fans, but for me it's going to blow because I thought the first one blew. And every time, it never fails. 3D looked pretty cool. But every time I see Jamie Foxx's Electro, I bust out laughing. Because he looks so incredibly ridiculous. And it's just the fact, I love Jamie Foxx. Don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that he's playing Electro. I'm gonna leave it right there. That's all I have to say on that matter. So 15 minutes I've let this run. That's all I have to say for now until I think of more stuff to say. I'm gonna edit. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm gonna put it up raw. And I'm gonna go home. I've got an hour and a half drive, and then I'm gonna go to work like at 11 a.m. So get a little sleep. But definitely going to see this again at some point. This is awesome. It's really good. Check it out. Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, in theaters right now. Well, it will be tomorrow, which is actually tomorrow today, but yeah, go see it. So, you've just been nerded. Keep calm and nerd on. This is Jesse Lynn, and I'll be talking to you guys later. See ya. Bye-bye.